Howdy folks, if you're a home bartender, and I assume you are, you probably have any number of fruit liqueurs or other random liqueurs around your bar that you bought for one specific drink maybe, and you're trying to figure out what else you can make with it. I have a number of these sitting around getting dusty, but there's one in particular I promised myself I wouldn't buy because it's only used really in one drink. But I did end up buying it to make a video that I never made. I'm talking, of course, about Creme de Violette, and the only drink you need it for? Say it with me, the Aviation. Now, I vowed not to get it because I don't love aviations, and I thought Creme de Violette would be too perfumey, too sweet, too specialized, probably take over a drink, all those sorts of things. But today, I'm gonna try and come up with some drinks to use it in. I probably have 95% of this bottle left, so we need to figure out some ways of using it. Hopefully we can give you some ideas as well. Now, I did some research for this video, of course. I looked online at the places people look online to find drinks. I looked on Reddit, The Fruits Guide, and of course, Cocktail Virgin. And I'd say probably 90% of them were gin drinks that fell into one of two categories. Either an aviation variation or a martini variation. These variations would say, add Violette to the martini, or a couple of different things to the martini. It would swap out the sweeteners in an aviation, that sort of thing. There was one by Robert Hess called The Eagle's Dream that took out the maraschino from an aviation and added egg white. Basically just a gin sour with Creme de Violette. It doesn't sound terrible. Now, I like to encourage people to experiment, and you could go make up your own aviation and martini riffs. Come up with something that you like for yourself. Now, I did find one that was pretty popular called the Water Lily that was still a gin drink, but more of a corpse reviver riff. It's actually from the PDT cocktail book. Equal parts gin, lemon, Cointreau, and Creme de Violette. Now, this drink is pretty good, and if it sounds good to you, you should definitely try it. It's bright and summery and a little flowery. It's very nice. But I like to mess around here on the channel, so I decided to try and make it with mezcal, because mezcal can pretty much always substitute for gin in most drinks, and it'll still be pretty good. But then I thought, doesn't lime go better with mezcal than lemon? So I'm going to use lime instead of lemon. And then I thought maybe we could nudge it a little bit closer to a corpse reviver by putting a little bit of maraschino in it. Now, this is starting to sound a little bit like a margarita, but you know what? Let's give it a shot. Did it. We got your, I guess it's a water lily, getting pretty far from a water lily, but let's give it a taste. It does have a nice sort of pale lavender purple color. This is getting a little bit closer to like a margarita variation rather than a corpse reviver, but I do like it a lot. I am not wrong that gin drinks can become mezcal drinks. That's uncontrovertible. This one's nice. It's got that tartness of a margarita, and the violet sort of drifts in at the end as sort of a flowery aftertaste. And in the middle, it's got sort of a little bit of a fruitiness. I think that plays well with the orange liqueur and the maraschino, for that matter. So yeah, I think this is a solid option. Of course, water lily is also a good option. And like I said before, any number of variations you might come up with probably will be pretty good. Yeah, it's mostly mezcal and lime at the beginning, sort of moves through the orange, and then you get this the violet-y sort of lingering floweriness. That's pretty nice, actually. I like it. And it's a beautiful color, so delicious. Now, as I said, most of the drinks I found were gin-based, so I wanted to find another drink that was not gin-based. And on Cocktail Virgin, I found this one called the San Remo. This drink is rye, sweet vermouth, Verna, and creme de violette. So basically a little bit of a sweeter Black Manhattan. That sounds pretty good to me. Now the San Remo recipe on Cocktail Virgin does call for creme vette, which I don't have and actually have never had, but apparently it's a more of a fruit liqueur that has violet in it, but creme de violette is a very common substitute for that. So we're just gonna go with that. All right, so drink 2, let's stir it up. All right, drink 2, the San Remo. Let's give it a taste. Okay, sort of as I predicted, you know, a boozy stirred drink, very much like a Black Manhattan with a little extra sweetness in it, which if you've been watching this channel, you know is sort of one of my favorite things. This could probably do with even a little more creme de violette, I think. I used a 1/4 ounce, but maybe a half would be better. I'm sort of hoping for more of that sort of lingering flowery aftertaste. But yeah, this is pretty good. Definitely got potential, because you could also try swapping out different Amaro instead. I used a Verna, but you could use, there's any number of things you could use, you know. So yeah, that's pretty good. I think creme de violette could definitely be used in some whiskey drinks, you know, if you got creative. So conclusions, creme de violette isn't nearly as perfumey and kind of weird as I thought it would be. It is very flowery on the nose, but not nearly as sort of offensively sweet as I thought it would be. And the fun thing I discovered was that sort of flowery aftertaste, that sort of lingering flavor that could really help stretch a drink out, you know. If you have a drink that ends too quickly, you could, you know, lengthen out that that aftertaste with some creme de violette, you know, why not? So making this video, I used maybe a 1/4 of this bottle, so still a ways to go, but I have some options now, and hopefully I gave you guys some ideas. If you have ideas for me of something I should try, let me know. In the meantime, cheers.